We traveled to the island of Kauai to explore some of the most beautiful places on Earth, and today I'm showing you our greatest adventures during our 9 days on the island. "3:48 a.m. and it's time to go." Our journey started off very early in the morning, but after 11 hours of travel, we finally made it to the island of Kauai. This is Hawaii's oldest island at around 5 million years old. Its nickname is the Garden Isle, and one quick look around the island tells you exactly where the name came from. On this trip, we would be exploring every single part of the island. Between snorkeling, diving, and hiking the Nepali coast, we made sure to include everything. However, our first major adventure was hiking the Kalalau Trail to a secret waterfall. This is one of the hardest hikes in the world, but the views are definitely worth it. Okay, here we are, start of the Kalalau Trail. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Our step count showed that this hike was 12 miles round trip, but some of that did come from the fact that we were exploring off the trail a bit. So that was our first big elevation gain of the trail. How are you feeling so far?
Honestly, it's so beautiful that you don't feel like you're like working out and tired.
I literally feel like I'm in Jurassic Park right now. It's so cool. This trail is so beautiful and we just started. The views along this trail were absolutely incredible. Seeing the Nepali coast from this point of view is insane. Now the halfway point of this hike was this secluded beach right here. I mean, just look at it. If this beach doesn't scream paradise, I don't know what does. But we couldn't stay here too long because we still had a few miles to go. And after another hour and a half, we finally reached it, a 350-foot waterfall in the heart of the Nepali coast. It's one of the most beautiful places we have ever been to. This is some of the coldest water I've ever felt anywhere in the world. This is one of the most remote waterfalls on the planet, only accessible by hiking through the Hawaiian mountains. And this adventure gave us the experience of a lifetime. Speaking of the Nepali coast, the second hike we did was one called the Kalepa Ridge Trail, which is located on the complete opposite side of the island from where we were staying. It took an hour and 40 minutes of driving before we finally reached it, but I knew it was gonna be worth it. This hike is located beneath the famous Kalalau Lookout, which is visited by hundreds of people every single day, but this hike remains incredibly secret. After walking through some brush, I finally got out onto the ridge, where this hike showed me some incredible views and even more incredible drop-offs. Here's our first big opening here on the trail. I doubt you can make it out on the GoPro, but we've actually got 3 waterfalls on the other side of the valley. The drop-off though is very, very intense. It's literally thousands of feet down to the bottom. However, the views are only gonna get more insane as we keep going. Our next portion of the trip was all about the underwater world. We snorkeled and dove all over the island, seeing some amazing stuff in the process. Our first spot was a place called Hideaways Beach, which is located on the north shore and during the summer months is great for snorkeling. Getting to the beach was no joke though, because it was a 700-foot drop down to the water. And yeah, I didn't have the best shoes for it. The underwater structures were so cool, and although this spot didn't have too many fish, it had some really cool animals like sea cucumbers and of course Hawaiian sea turtles. This was Selena's ultimate objective on the trip, to find as many sea turtles as possible, and this spot showed us 7 different turtles. It was amazing. But Kauai does have many better snorkeling spots than this, including this secret beach right here on the north shore. Now, I actually found this by accident when I was flying my drone. I thought it looked great, so I went back and we found that there was a road to take us there. The drive to get there was really narrow and on an uneven road, but the seclusion of this beach was definitely well worth it. We accomplished a lot at this spot. Besides for just snorkeling and free diving, I got to take Selena diving for the very first time. She was a natural and I can't wait to take her diving more in the future. But this spot was super unique and it plays to Hawaii's strange geography. The first couple hundred yards underwater are barren and incredibly shallow, but out of nowhere you hit this massive drop off into the wide open ocean. This is what I saw from my drone that was so intriguing, and the views from under the surface were definitely way better than from above. This drop off had so many different sea turtles and even a bunch of lava tubes, and exploring it was one of the best parts of the whole trip. Now, every single morning on this trip, we were waking up at the crack of dawn. And since Selena isn't a certified scuba diver, she got to sleep in one morning while I went diving. I had no idea what to expect on these dives. Kauai isn't the Hawaiian island most known for its diving, so all I was hoping for was clear water and lots of marine life. And boy, was I in for the dives of my life. I saw so many different sea turtles, witnessed the dive master remove an invasive crown of thorns sea star, and even got inked by Hawaiian octopus. And when you combine that with the crystal clear water, it's definitely some of the best diving in the world. Now, in between our adventures, we spent a lot of time in the town of Hanalei. This town is located on Kauai's north shore as well. This little town has so many good restaurants and desserts especially. It's also the least touristy and prettiest part of the whole island, so our downtime was pretty awesome as well. And we even took a trip to check out a spot called Queen's Bath. At times, this is the most dangerous swimming spot in the entire Hawaiian island chain. However, it is also one of the most beautiful. We also got to see filming locations from my personal favorite movie, Jurassic Park. Like the Jurassic Ranch right here, which is famous from the first dinosaur scene in the movie. But the only downside with trips like this is that time flies by fast. And the last thing we had on our list of things to do was a sunset dinner cruise on the Nepali coast. Selena, what are you dressed all nice for?
We're going to a sunset cruise.
Where at? The Nepali coast?
Yeah.
Ooh, so exciting. Leaving Kauai was definitely very hard, but this trip was once in a lifetime. We got to experience the whole island, from deep inside the Nepali coast to Hanalei to exploring its underwater terrain. And we're both super excited to go back to Kauai in the future.